Hello out there, everyone. It's been a little while since my last video. This is a recent used bin pickup of Last Man Standing, a 1996 film directed by Walter Hill and lensed by the same cinematographer rather that did Wild Bill, another Walter Hill production starring Jeff Bridges that I really love. I wish that would get a proper 4K Blu-ray release, but this film of Mr. Hill's, I think, is quite a bit of fun. It's definitely got a stacked cast that includes, of course, Willis, Bruce Dern, Christopher Walken, um, in Mr. Kelly, the guy that played in The Warriors, who was famously the one who uttered Warriors come out and play, and his name is escaping me at the moment, but he's a great character actor as well, been in many of Walter Hill's films. But this, of course, is basically a remake of Yohimbo, the Kurosawa movie, or the Man with No Name trilogy. Um, so it's not breaking any new ground. It has an interesting sort of almost noirish, neo-noir, Western noir feel to it. It's beautifully shot. I know some people have complained that the film looks orange. I don't know. I think it looks great. I remember seeing it in theaters and being duly impressed by the visuals and the aesthetic of the film. The score is fabulous by Ry Cooder, who is just a wonderful blues guitarist slash musician that's done a lot of really good musical scores over his career, including, I think, most notably Paris, Texas, among others. But in any case, this movie, it's not a perfect film. It's not a movie that you're going to just be thinking as, one of the top 50 movies of all time. But it's a good movie. It's a solid film directed with some sure-footed ability by Walter Hill, who I think, incidentally, is one of the more underrated, sort of criminally overlooked directors, if you ask me. He's, of course, made such films as The Warriors and 48 Hours. He also did Wild Bill and Streets of Fire, among many others. I really like pretty much his whole filmography. He's one of those directors that I think is really in some ways a director's director. He never quite made it to that same level as Spielberg and some of the others, but I would argue he's a very capable filmmaker. Southern Comfort is another one of his in my catalog that I really enjoy. So definitely worth a watch, and I would say that this release by Shout Studios is pretty good. It's I believe it's based on a 2K scan. This is a 1080p Blu-ray, so you're not going to get 4K crispiness, obviously. But I thought it looked really good, and the sound was on par as well. The only knock I would give this release really is the scarcity of anything that remotely smacks of special features. There's one trailer on the film, and I think that's indicative of the way a lot of movies are now going. I believe this film was released, the Blu-ray release by Shout, rather, was just issued a year or two ago. So, sadly, I think this is sort of the trend. You're just seeing these newer Blu-ray releases just come with fewer and fewer supplements, which I think is unfortunate. But definitely a movie that I think is worth watching. The cast is terrific. The final act is a little bit of a letdown, but it's still good. And I would just say that if you're into sort of westerns, it just has a sort of retro feel about it. It almost, in some ways, has even some shades of Bad Day at Black Rock, of all things. I mean, I've got that one on my shelf, and as I was watching this again, I was struck by how it just has some almost old Hollywood vibes going for it. So on that note, I would definitely say if you haven't seen it, give it a watch, and if you have, and you like it, you want to add it to your shelf, I think this Shout Select release is quite good, apart from the scarce, just absolute paucity of supplemental features. But definitely a solid pickup, and I'm happy to have another Walter Hill movie on my shelf. Well, that's it for now. Take care. Please stay safe out there. Be kind. And by all means, Keep watching good cinema.